I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 94 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your host, Kam.
Boy, Flowz.
And as always, please make sure you check us out on all the streaming platforms. We're available on all the good ones. So Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. If you want to head over to our Instagram, which is SZN Podcast, or our Twitter, which is SZN Pod, that has all of our links in the bio. So make sure you do that, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, let's not waste time here, bro. Episode 94. We've got quite a few fights to break down. So yeah, man, I want to start. Let's go in chronological order, right? So obviously the other week we broke down or we previewed the return of the monster, Inoue, in a rematch against Donaire. It was happening on a very, very strange day, a Tuesday, which I don't even know. Still till this day, I don't even know why they picked Tuesday. I don't know if you know, but hey, it happened on the Tuesday, and we was treated to I'm not going to say boxing masterclass. I'm going to say boxing destruction, bro, or a masterclass in destruction from Mr. Inoue, who dispatched Donaire in 2 rounds. 2 crazy rounds. I remember you saying that you felt that Inoue was going to stop him this time. So obviously we know the first fight was very back and forth and close first fight. I thought to myself, Inoue's got the wherewithal, the experience to perhaps see it out again, but he will still lose. But I did not see Inoue doing that to him. Because you said stoppage, but I think you said late stoppage, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought you maybe get him out of there late on, but
yeah,
like that.
Boy, I think he dropped him in the first round. It's interesting going to this one because that first fight, I think what a lot of people were surprised with was that Donaire was willing to sort of sit in the pocket with Inoue and trade. And obviously you sort of think that, this guy's a monster puncher. Do you really want to be sitting in there with him and trading? But Donaire had a lot of success in that first fight in sitting with Inoue and trading, and he hurt Inoue as we saw. He gave him a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So you're kind of thinking he's going to do that again. But this fight in the first round, he was trying to box a little bit. He wasn't trying to sit with him, and he was trying to, sort of box on the back foot and use his boxing skills to sort of get out of range and stuff. And it didn't work because he got dropped. so from the off, it's looking a bit shaky. And then we get to the second round now, and Donaire's changed tactic. He's obviously clearly, I've lost the first round trying to box. Then we go back to sitting in with him and trading with him. And it's peak for us because he's done that and he's been dropped again. So even worse than the first knockdown. So you're even thinking like, what can he do? Donaire actually had Inoue against the ropes, and I think he actually landed quite a good shot as well. But you can see his face all red and whatever. And then Inoue's landed a crazy left hook, brother. And I don't even know. Honestly, till this day, I still don't know how Donaire stood up from that. I would not know him stood up. He didn't go down because that left hook had my man's leg stanky legged. The leg was shaking, bro. But he somehow didn't go down, but obviously visibly super hurt. So Inoue's then pounced on him, had him up against the ropes, and he's unloading, catching him with big shots. And Donaire's finally gone down. And the referee didn't even count. The referee, as soon as he went, because he went like flat down, didn't he? The referee just waved it off from there. He didn't even bother to try to let him count, try to beat the count. That was it. It was done. That's all she wrote. This guy's scary. We said it before. He's scary. What more can we say about him, Flowz?
He's a problem. Like we've talked about it before. We've said we put him up there in terms of pound for pound, one of the hardest hitting punchers.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
We've said that about him. Put him up with some big names in that regard. And I don't know. He's different, man. He's different. He's moving up weight classes, destroying guys. I've said he looks like a superhero somewhere in that ring.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I think I said it last time. He's one fight where I'm watching him fight and I'm wincing as he's hitting people. I'm like, shit. And this guy's what, 118 pounds?
Yeah, currently 118. I'd say it's so testament to his power because after the fight, someone on Twitter put up the thread or you saw of him knocking guys out.
Fantastic thread.
Yeah, amazing thread. And because I said that he's dropped every single opponent he's faced at least once, which is insane. Yeah. But when you watch that thread, yeah, you notice how the sheer amount of knockdowns were from body shots. And that tells you all you need to know about someone's power. Because it's probably easy to catch someone on the head and not, get them dazed from the head. But to be dropping so many of body shots, that says it all. That says it all about your power. It's real. And he's fully, it's real. Donaire didn't look like he knew, like he didn't even know where he was. He looked like he'd been hit by an express train. Japanese express train, literally, it was peak.
It was killing me. Obviously, Donaire was humbling defeat, like you saw his post-fight interview.
Yeah.
But I've never heard a fighter say, I'm glad the ref stopped it. But I said he's glad, but he was more trying to allude to the fact that he would have kept getting up.
Yeah.
But man said, I'm glad the ref stopped it.
Yeah.
And I tell you, my man, I've never heard a fighter say that. I don't think
trust. That is so true.
Like, it was killing me.
This brother's scary. I think obviously he's called out Paul Butler, who has because now he's got 3 belts at that weight class. There's one last piece of the puzzle left, one last infinity stone for him to collect. That's held by UK's Paul Butler. Butler might as well hand him the belt. I can't lie. You might as well give it to him because, if that fight happens or when it happens, he's getting destroyed. We know Butler was probably even considered the weakest of the champions, to be honest. If I'm looking at that weight class, he's probably the worst one there. No offense to Paul Butler, but it's coming for you. And I think it's sick because what I want to happen is obviously, in a way, becomes your undisputed. And then obviously we know about the division up. That's Cool Boy Steph's division. So from what I'm sort of envisioning, anyway, grabs, becomes undisputed that the weight class moves up. By then, I'm expecting, hopefully, fingers crossed, Stephen Fulton would have unified with the with MJ. So potentially, Inoue could potentially be walking into another undisputed fight straight away. Possibly, who knows? But I think a lot of people are already salivating at the idea of a Fulton versus Inoue fight. That Flowz, that's going to be a serious fight. That's going to be a serious fight.
Bro, yeah, that's a crazy one right there. But Inoue's moved up quite a bit already, so. Yeah,
but he wants to move up again. He did say, once he grabs that, he wants to move up to the next one. So
he's a monster.
Befitting his name, innit?
At those lower weights, I guess. Obviously, there always comes a limit, but that's not too big of a jump for him.
It's not too big of a jump for me. I think he could do 2 more potentially 2 more. But quickly touch upon Donaire. It's been a glittering career. He's going straight into that Hall of Fame, to be honest. What is it? Is it 5-6 weight classes? World champion. 40 now, been around for a long time. Kind of had his Indian summer because obviously when they fought 2 years ago, he had a belt which Inoue took off him, and he had another. He went back and won another title which Inoue's now taken off him. So, yeah, man, Donaire is bona fide Hall of Famer. Definitely one of Philippines' greatest. But at 40 now, it might be time. I think it's high time now for him to call it a day. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, great fighter, great career. Put some brilliant fights for us, and I think good way to bow out. Yeah,
no shame as well. No shame.
Yeah,
shout out to them. Shout out to Inoue. Probably one of the best, most exciting fights you can sort of watch as a boxing fan. So listeners, make sure you tune into any Inoue fight. It's going to be fireworks. He's definitely going to drop someone. I'm sure of that.
I've seen a lot of fanfare around Inoue now.
Everybody's running to Inoue now, yeah?
Everybody's running. Like, everyone's got a pound for pound number 1 now.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they got him on the list. Yeah.
A lot of people. And it's so funny, like, recently, we're just seeing the pound for pound list chop and change every week. And after someone wins a fight, they're in the... It's so funny to me.
The conversations around the list are funny as well, isn't it? Because no one's ever happy. Like, I don't think I've seen one list where people are complaining, saying, oh, how can he not be there? Or how can he not be there? It's what you make of it, I suppose. I think there's definitely people who, you expect to be there. But Yeah, like you said, there's quickly subject to change depending on who fights. So who fights one week, who fights next week. So is what it is.
I mean, I think we both had Inoue in our top 5 for a few
years. Yes, we have.
Since we started this pod. So
yeah,
he's not a hidden gem. Like
he's not an unknown. Yeah, like some people acting like, oh, who's this Inoue guy? But like, he's been doing this, by the way. So yeah, you people don't sleep. Get to know. He's serious. And he's building his platform nicely. So shout out to him. Cool. Let's move on. A couple of fights that happened on this weekend on the Saturday. Might as well, obviously, as usual, we start at home. So we'll start with home. There was a card. Actually, we didn't touch upon it last week. But yeah, it might as well. Would be remiss to not mention it now. Riakporhe, who kind of feels like he didn't fight too long ago against Dubois, but yeah, they've ruled him out again against Turchi, who he was supposed to fight, I believe, on that Dubois card. So it's good that they're able to sort of hash that out and get that back on again quickly. Yeah, man, Riakporhe. This was, I think, it was billed as quite a decent test for him. I think it was an eliminator as well, wasn't it, Flowz? Yeah, cruiserweight eliminator. He's knocked this guy out in 2 rounds. Richard Riakporhe doing what Richard Riakporhe does. It was a beautiful body shot. It didn't even look hard, but I could tell it was hard because of my man's reaction. He tried to get up, Flowz. You see, he tried to get up and he went back down again. Right. Yeah. Riakporhe is. We talked about him and his power. It's no joke as well. He's another seriously hard puncher. And yeah, he's doing what he's meant to be doing. Yeah, 2 rounds. It's hard to sort of break this one down because he got him out of there so quickly in such devastating fashion. Yeah, Riakporhe's moving on up. He's got himself now primed for a shot. And it's obviously, I think, a boxer, obviously, Santa Boxer and Sky, they're really pushing him. Like, I think they're really trying to make him their guy. Yeah, if he keeps on winning, he can be that. So shout out to Richard. It's not really one where we can sort of discuss his improvements or his regressions because he knocked the guy out very quickly. What are your thoughts on the fight itself or the knockdown or the knockout, etc.? Yeah,
good performance from Richard. He done his thing. He could make this his thing. When he has made it his thing, almost where he started to just knock guys out. Like he's been doing that, but then I know he's had a few close fights and then he's got the stoppage and whatnot. But if he's stopping people early now, yeah, make it your thing. Obviously, like you say, Sky Boxer, they're talking him up. They're saying he's better than Wilder and all this and that.
They're really backing him, Like I was deep in it. I was watching. I think it was like, wow, they're really making Richard as trying to make him the star, which is good for him. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, they've got the platform to do it. Yeah, definitely. He used to say the cruiserweight division's there for the taking in my eyes. That's one division where I think you can have good success in, especially with Usyk moving on out, Bradis on the out, Carbu on the out. So it's there for people like a Cody, Riakporhe to make a name for themselves in that division. So yeah.
Question for you, Flowz. When do we think we see obviously this prospected Riakporhe Cody fight? Do you reckon next year?
I think next year, yeah.
Yeah, next year. You're saying?
I think next year. I think, like I say, the cruiserweight division has never really been a spectacular division. If you can make cruiserweight, you can kind of make heavyweight, and heavyweight's the money division. So
that's glamorous. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the more glamorous one, and I'm sure both of them have their eyes set on moving up to that division. But this is a stepping stone in terms of a division they can clear up, and them two facing off, London rivalry, both wiped out the domestic scene. Both of them have smashed up everyone in the domestic level.
Both very similar. Yeah, profiles. Builds. Yeah.
I think we both said it would be a stinker.
We did. We said that if it happened like now, for example, or this year, it's stinking out the joint. They're booing. But
someone getting stopped.
Yeah. We said it's not going 12, but it's not going to be a nice fight to watch based on both of their styles and profiles. But next year, because as you see, they're both growing. They're both getting better. They're both, getting better. So by next year, I'm expecting it could be an exciting fight.
Yeah. Both of them developing relationships with new trainers.
Yeah.
Colleagues with Munguia, right?
Yeah.
And Riakporhe with Angel Fernandez. So they're both developing, they're both growing, even though Riakporhe isn't young, he's like in his 30s.
He's 32, 33. He's older than Akoli.
Yeah.
Even funny enough, yeah.
But in terms of freshness, he's still learning, he's still developing. So yeah, it's definitely one for the future. I think next year could be a big fight.
Next year, 100%. Yeah, I look forward to that as well. That's a big fight for the UK.
100%.
Shout out to Riakporhe, did what you had to do. Also, quickly touch upon, because he was on your undercard, and it was another devastating performance from your guy Vidal Riley. Funny enough, Vidal Riley's a light heavy, right?
Cruiser.
He's a cruiser.
Yeah, but he looks like a small cruiser.
He looks small, yeah. Well, to be fair, we're comparing him to Riakporhe and Akoli, who are actually humongous cruisers. Like, their man actually too big for cruiserweight in that sense. But
heavyweights.
Yeah, really and truly, they've got heavyweight sort of builds in that sense. But yeah, Vidal Riley, another beautiful knockout, highlight reel knockout for him. Like you said, good to see him in action. He's another one. Obviously, I know you're big on him and you've earmarked him as someone that is very, very good. People are starting to talk about him now, saying that, he's a problem for the cruiserweight division in the future. Obviously, I don't think he's where Akoli and Riakporhe yet, because obviously he's still kind of a novice in that sense. But
yeah,
it's good to see him moving. Good to see him getting fights. This is 2 quick fights in succession. So, in fact, he should aim for at least 2 more fights this year.
Yeah,
maybe even 3 if he's stopping guys in 1-2 rounds.
100%. I think activity is the key thing for him. Obviously, we discussed before his relationship with Wave Promotions, where he was very inactive there. Activity for him, because really and truly, once Akoli and Riakporhe move on up, I think it's him. I really do think it's him. He's got the talent.
I mean, Flowz, the knockout itself, you saw the skills. You see how the way he changed angles so quick.
Yep.
The guy couldn't even see the punch coming. And then boom, one shot gone. That's skills that, not to knock Akoli or Riakporhe, they haven't shown me that. You know what I mean? Like, that's there already. That's superb skills. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he just needs to be active, stay active.
Yeah.
He's one who might have a few other distractions. I know he does his YouTube thing, he does his rapping thing.
That's the association with KSI, yeah.
I think that's partly the reason why he was inactive, because he was doing all that stuff. But of course, it's partly to do with Mayweather Promotions.
Yeah,
they do what they do.
We said it before. We know fighters should do. Yeah, we know.
Yeah. So I think stay focused, get active.
Yeah.
And he could be a pay-per-view star, really and truly, for Boxing Sky quite easily. Just needs to be active. Yeah.
No, I agree. No, he definitely does look good. And hopefully the activity levels stay high for him, because he's got, I guess, catching up to doing it. So that was sort of it for the Sky Boxer card. I want to move over to BT now, because Daniel Dubois was against Trevor Bryan for the WBA regular heavyweight title, which is a full world title, if you listeners didn't know. We said we expected Daniel Dubois to dispatch Bryan, because Bryan is someone that hasn't really been in with good quality opposition and just isn't that good. Dubois done it easily in 4 rounds. It was easy. It was very, very easy. Before I get into that, in fact, let me just say a few things. First of all, I tweeted this in the account, I said the first thing first, being signed to Don King in 2022 is insane to me. That is insane. How could you be signed to Don King? Second of all, Flowz, did you see the quality of his show?
One of the worst televised shows I've ever seen. We've seen some bad ones in boxing, but that's up there.
I'm crying.
That's up there. That's top 3, maybe number 1.
This entire show was shambolic. I've never seen anything look so amateur in my life. It looked like it was in a school, like a high school gym. First of all, he had. I don't know if you caught the anthem singing. Which is
I didn't catch
okay. You missed. The chick singing the UK anthem was killing me because you know how the American anthem they usually remix the United States anthem. They had some chick singing the UK anthem. She was trying to remix it.
Nah, stop me. That one can't be remixed.
She was remixing "God Save the Queen." I thought, what is this? And obviously, the American singer for the American accent did what she did. Obviously, she was remixing the hell out of the anthem, standard. But no, this entire show was it looked so amateur. It looked a mess, and it wasn't like some Miami like casino, I think, but it was those were hella empty seats.
Yeah.
They didn't fill it at all. Just to say, the ring was tiny. Really surprised how small the ring was. The production of it was just schoolboy. Really was schoolboy. But there was the commentators were saying that all this is kind of. Because even Carl Frampton was saying like he's never seen anything like this before in his life. Like he said, this is the quality of his show is insane to him, and I was like, I agree.
And we watched boxing on Dave before,
Brother.
And that was bad.
Yeah,
this is the worst one.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, they were saying potentially, hopefully, this isn't a distraction for Daniel Dubois. It wasn't. From round one, bro, I said, yeah, Bryan's food. It is easy work for this guy. Bryan, I didn't think Bryan threw a punch in the first round. Dubois' jab had him befuddled. Dubois was behind the jab. He was jabbing well. And it looked like, to me, that anything Daniel threw was going to land on Bryan. Or not land, but, he was just an easy stationary target to me, especially in that first round. I will give Bryan some credit. He is quite savvy even though he's an easy target to hit and he's slow, with very slow footwork. If you watch him, he's very savvy at avoiding or taking punishment. So he will roll last minute with a shot or cover up really well last minute. So he wasn't taking anything flush, but he was barely throwing. He wasn't really throwing. I think it took him about like to round 3 when he actually started to try and attempt to maybe counter Dubois or whatever, but yeah, no, he was just an easy target all night for Dubois, and Dubois didn't have to get out of first gear. He was happy to jab. He was happy to throw combinations, and eventually, when he was able to catch him, we saw Trevor go down, and he went down like a log. I can't lie, timber.
Good shot as well. Very good shot.
Yeah, he set up really well, explosive, quick as well, because he threw the left hand and he quickly then threw the right hand, didn't he? And caught him as he was, we knew, like, I think the round before that, round 3, he had him hurt, and sort of Bryan was saved by the bell. So I thought to myself, this 4th round, he should get him out of here. I think my only worry was obviously Dubois was throwing a lot, and Bryan wasn't throwing much. So I'm there thinking, hopefully Dubois doesn't sort of gas himself out because he's to expend a lot of energy throwing punches and stuff. And the second half of the fight, maybe that's why Bryan tries to come in and take over. But Bryan was, he just wasn't good enough. Like, that's not the level. He's not the level required. I can't lie. And it was an easy night's work for Daniel Dubois.
Yeah.
Shout out to Daniel.
Yeah, not much to say on this one. I just want to shout out Don King because I always feel like it could be like a thing on a boxer's bucket list to have a fight under Don King, because say what you want, my man's a legend.
He's a boxing legend, but at the same time, he's also a well-known crook.
Yeah, I mean, that's why he's a legend.
That's why he's a legend.
That's partly why. But I think he's done big fights.
Iconic fights. Thriller Manila. Look, if you do Thriller Manila and Rumble in the Jungle, you're a legend, full stop. Like, you can do everything. And obviously all the fights with Tyson as well. But the bad thing is, obviously, at least 10 of his fighters have sued him for millions for robbing them. I'm not joking as well. It's a lot. Facts. It's bare of it. Like,
it's even more. Prominent fighters as well.
All Ali, Larry Holmes, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis,
Zab Judah?
Wait, I don't know about Zab. Possibly, I don't know.
He robbed Zab.
Yeah, okay, cool. Zab, Tim Witherspoon. There's loads. Like these are all world champions and big names in boxing. Have all sued this guy. They've all had to be settled outside the court. He's a well-known crook.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Zab sued him, but I know Zab was talked about him finessing him as well. I robbed him a bet. That's what he does.
and he's a goon. He's a well-known goon as well.
Yeah. But he's what, 90 odd now? He must be
91. Plus, and he's like Bob, he's still there. That's in the faculties are still there. These they're hanging on to it, bro. They're hanging on for dear life, you know.
Working at 90. This business must be lucrative or
boy.
And they're doing their thing. So shout out Don King, shout out Bob Merriam. They deserve their flowers because they won't be around forever. But
who's older? Is Bob older? Oh, that's maybe about the
90.
same. Yeah, Bob must be 90 old. Yeah.
I think they're both they're both 90. So obviously. And shout out Dubois. That's the last. There's not much to say on the fight, but shout out Dubois, man. It's always good to see him happy, smiling.
I guess it's always good to see him happy and smiling.
Because I'm telling you, he looks lonely as hell that time. He looks lonely. And I felt sorry for him because for a fighter to have to, So seeing him happy, smiling, he's a young guy. He's being successful.
I am finished.
Shout out Frank Warren for looking after his golden goose because other fighters ain't get that opportunity. I don't know how he patted that.
the guy that beat Dubois is still sitting there. Dubois has now, because he's now the WBA, I think it was, regular champion.
Yeah.
That he's now primed for a shot at the winner of AJ Usyk when the rematch happens. He's got that shot there. To be fair to Joe Joyce, I think Joyce is also primed for a shot as well in another governing body. But he ain't got no regular belt. To be fair, WBA the only ones that do the regular belt, to be fair. So the other bodies don't do that. So
what they do, they just do WBC have like 3 or 4 they're still slagging.
Oh yeah, they still haven't got rid of all of them, have they?
The franchise is still local. The
true.
Interim still local. But WBA, he goes down in history as a world champion.
Yeah.
I mean, every regular champion out there promoted to like their world champion.
Yeah, no, if you go on the WBA website, they're given full championship status. It says under the world champions, it says it will have 2. It will have the super and the regular, and the regular is referred to as world champion.
In all records, the regular is counted as a champion. So I mean, the regular was the original belt. So the super one's the one that came around.
Yeah.
So regular's been the historical belt anyway. So obviously, us as boxing purists and boxing fans, we want to see one champion, so we ignore the rest, kind of thing. And to us, the super is the real one. But every record, every list, every regular champion, they're the champion. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. So fair play to him.
Yeah, but Daniel did what he had to do, and he just needs to keep busy now because obviously AJ Usyk looks as their team, and Daniel's still not ready for AJ or Usyk in my eyes. Afterwards, he called out. He said potentially he wants to fight like someone like Dylan White. That's a good fight. I'll keep my reservations as to who wins that for now until it's made. But it's a good fight, I guess. Would you want to see that fight?
He's not ready for it.
He's not ready for it, but if he feels like he's ready for it, Frank definitely feels like he's ready for it, then boy, put him up against Dylan White. Let's see something.
Yeah, I'll watch it, but once again, we know Dylan White's got that dog in him. Daniel, we really questioned, does he have the dog? And you don't just develop that dog overnight, so
yeah, true. Yeah, we'll see. But keep busy because AJ and Usyk on a lot of their thing for a while. So, and then obviously there's the potential Fury fight as well. So, you just got to keep busy. There's guys he can fight. So, he's still got improvements to make and to do. But this is a great milestone for him, I'm sure. Boom. Let's head over to America. What fight was over there? Okay, yes. Edgar Berlanga versus Angulo. That was over there in America. Ooh, it was a W for Mr. Berlanga. But again, Flowz, boy, the streets are really on this guy. Every single fight, man, it's not looking good for Mr. Berlanga, The streets are really onto him. Again, they said, obviously, the Steve Ross fight, they said that he lost that. This one, they're still saying, obviously he got the W. But yeah, they're saying he got gifted another decision again.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Obviously, we put this guy on our one to watch. You know, he's potentially someone that could be someone that, you know, could shake things up, etc. But boy, ever since he started fighting, I guess non-binmen, let's put it that way, or non-journeymen, it's been a struggle for him. And yeah, a lot of people are saying that Berlanga is an overhyped, sort of hype train. I think for me, what I saw from this fight, what I would give him is that he did show a bit more of his boxing skills. So I like that he was boxing behind the jab in portions of this fight, which was good, because there was portions where he was looking for the knockout and looking for the big shot, and his trainer sat him down and basically just laid into him and said, "What are you doing? Stop looking for the big shot. Boxing. The knockout's not going to come. It's not going to come. Start getting behind your jab and start boxing," which is what he did in portions, which was good. Angulo was very, very game. As I highlighted previously, Angulo is a tough opponent, someone that's been in there with Beterbiev and another good fighter as well. Can't remember who else, but yeah, Angulo is someone that's good. Only had 2 losses against the very best, so I knew Berlanga would be tested. And you know what? I'm gonna cut him some slack a little bit, Flowz, because I think with Berlanga, what's happened, he's a victim, obviously, of his own knockout prowess, right? Because obviously he's gone 16 fights, all first round knockouts against guys that are poor.
Yeah.
And he's unfortunately not unfortunately, but he's got a really good fan base. He fills out arenas. They put him headlining straight away afterwards. You know, he's got a good social media following and stuff. So there's a lot of hype behind him. And so from that top ranker, obviously earmarked him as someone that obviously has got a lot of potential in terms of putting bums on seats. They've gone from giving him sort of bin men to pretty quickly good opposition in that sense. So the jump's a lot. It's a big jump for him. He's gone from bin men to solid contenders. And that's why I think it was just too much of a gap for him, which is why he's struggling now. So yeah, I guess a victim of his own early success. And realistically, they should really die down the competition, because he's still quite a novice in there, but they won't do that, unfortunately, because it's kind of thing now that obviously they're giving him a couple good contenders and he's done well. They got to keep feeding those contenders. But yeah, man, he's going to keep struggling, unfortunately, because I just think it's a big gap for him to make up currently. But yeah, he puts bums on seats, and you know they've got him now headlining cards, so it's peak for him. I can't lie, it's peak for him.
Yeah, it's the negative aspects of not getting in the rounds in early in your career. Yeah, those are meant to be opportunities to practice new things, learn new things, be tested.
Yeah,
but I guess it's marketable once you get 16 first round KOs in a row. The promoters are gonna jump on you, push you. They're doing highlight reels. He kind of burst on the scene with that. To me, I remember. I was like, whoa, let me check this guy out. His next fight, he done it again. The next fight, he done it again. I'm like, yo, even I was buying into the hype. But at the same time, you said you want to see learning. You want to see improvements. And that's what we were calling for. And now,
yeah.
But he's still young.
It's tough. He's 25, still young. But yeah, you don't go from 16 first round KOs to fighting solid contenders. Not the best contender, but solid guys. Like, it's a big jump for you. And you can see that it's testament, because that's 4 fights now, UD. Last 4 fights, UD, ever since he stopped fighting the unheard of fighters. There was a bit of controversy in this one as well, though, Flowz, in the 7th round.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, so obviously he's at this point, I think, frustrated, trying to get his work off against Angulo, who's proven to be very tough opposition. They were in the clinch. He claims that Angulo was elbowing him and whatnot. So my man's tried to do the Mike Tyson, and he's tried to bite him. As in, Berlanga's tried to bite Angulo. The referee just sort of obviously broke up. It's like, all right, guys, stop messing around. Get back to boxing. But it was funny because in the post-fight interview, Berlanga's even said he was using the elbows, and I almost went Tyson on his ass. Like he acknowledged it, he fully openly said it, and he had to stop himself. He was like, "Oh, what? Let me relax." But yeah, again, again, sign. Obviously, he was frustrated. Signs of just the youth and inexperience, I guess. Just funny because
that's what he tweets after.
Yeah. Oh, what? The apologize. Yeah. It's just funny because, boy, I never thought I'll see a Mike Tyson moment ever again in the ring, but hey, man, I'm still biting.
You done it.
Fury licked. He licked Wilder's ear, but I don't know about bite. I can't remember anyone who bit.
No.
Oh, was it Cash Ali? That's the one. That's the one.
Got this but was it Price's chest?
It was Pricey.
Yeah, David Price's chest.
That was killing me. That one was so funny.
I wrestled him to the ground
because they wrestled to the floor and then he bit him. I thought, wait, what's this?
Bait on his chest.
And you saw the mark as well, the hench bite mark as well. Crazy guy. Yeah, that Cash Ali guy is the strange one as well. Like, I remember he's always calling like AJ.
Yeah, he was talking.
Chef, he was talking smack.
I forgot about that.
Weird guy.
He was talking like AJ's ducking it. AJ know what that smoke.
Bro.
That's funny. I remember the tweet. He was tweeting like, "Yeah,
bro,
the proof's in the pudding."
Strange guy. I don't even know what possessed him to be calling AJ out like that, but he was moving like he's the big dog for AJ. I thought, wow, okay. Are you the guy that lost that got done for biting? But shout out to Berlanga. The streets are onto you, brother. You need a good performance in your next fight because they're all saying that you're being gifted your last 2-3 fights now because you're the popular guy. I personally felt like he did enough to win, but yeah, again, it wasn't. I guess it wasn't a perfect performance, or it wasn't a performance that fills you with serious promise, I guess. But like I said, I was happy to see him boxing behind the jab in portions. Something, yeah. I think he now realizes he has to get away from looking for the one big shot. These solid contenders aren't going to go down like that. You're going to have to work behind the jab and set up your shots and whatnot. But we'll see how he does. Top Rank are going to keep milking him. That's for sure. All right, last fight I want to review from the weekend. Jaime Munguia versus Jimmy Kelly. Listeners, I'm sure you remember Flowz had a lot of words to say about this one. Let's delve straight into this one. It was a very it was a very interesting fight, bro. I'll keep it a buck with you because Jaime started super slow. This Jimmy Kelly guy, honestly, real talk, I was impressed. He was very, very impressive until it ended for him. In fact, I'll even go and say that he's winning. He won every single round up until the 5th where he got stopped.
They spat my water.
Brother, this Jimmy Kelly guy was really good. I'd done some, obviously before the fight, done some more background onto him. I think he's close with the Fury camp. Or he might even be a Jippo as well. I don't know. But yeah, I think he's from where Fury's from in Manchester. It's been in the ring with Fury, etc. So very close to their camp. Man, he was boxing really, really well for us. Behind the jab, Jaime was it was weird. Like, it was almost like the Jaime of old where he was just letting himself be caught for no reason. Like, caught with his hands down, sloppy, just marching forward, not really moving his head. And this Jimmy guy who showed that he was a very competent boxer in terms of footwork, he was catching Jaime with counters, and his feints were really, really troubling Jaime. He couldn't really nail down the feints. He couldn't clock it. And this Jimmy guy will feint really well and then shoot the counter shot, or come in, feint, and then throw the right and the left hand, and then use his good footwork to get out the way, etc. So I'm watching him from round one to I'm thinking, what's going on here? Like, Jaime is really, really sluggish. His punches don't look to have any purchase behind them. He's just not taking this guy seriously enough. And yeah, I was super impressed by this Jimmy guy. And there'll be times where they'll be both exchanging, and you're thinking, boy, don't start exchanging with Jaime. He's the wrong guy to exchange with. But Jimmy he'll be exchanging with him, and he'll be catching him. And there were times when he actually rocked Jaime Munguia, bro. He rocked him.
No.
Yeah. There were times. There was one time where he actually hurt him. Like, what? not severely hurt, but you could see that Jaime like Buzz. It's sort of one of the ones where he sort of woke him up, and he was like, okay, cool. He woke up now, and then in the 5th round, well, from like the 3rd, 4th, he was starting to at least try and press it and trying to start to get his steez off. But it was funny because this Jimmy guy fought really well for 15 minutes, really, really well, and it was all over for him in 15 seconds. Boxing's a cruel game, cruel game. Yeah, as I said, Jimmy's the one impressing, doing the better boxing work to me. He gets caught. Jaime catches him with a big shot. My man goes down. Gets up. It's not really a hurtful shot, more like a flash shot. But obviously gets up. As we said before, we know how devastating Jaime Munguia is as a forward-thinking, attacking fighter. This Jimmy guy, I'm there thinking, boy, you got like a minute and a bit left. Hold. He's trying to box his way out of the trouble now from Jaime, trying to, obviously jab and move, etc., trying to trade with him. And the thing is, he was still catching Jaime with really, really good shots. I'm thinking to myself, yo, this Jimmy Kelly guy, he's good. But Jaime would then land another big shot. Dropped my man again. I'm thinking, boy, again, he's got to his feet. So shakier than before, but you're thinking, okay, he's still got his faculties around him. He can survive this. He gets dropped a 3rd time. I mean, and if doing this, obviously they're both exchanging, and he's catching Jaime still with good shots and doing good sort of slipping, ducking, and weaving work, avoiding shots, rolling with punches. But he got caught with another one, gets dropped a 3rd time in the round. Oh no, well actually this 3rd knockdown, he actually took a knee himself. Tactical knee, in a sense where it's like, okay, cool. If I take the knee here, there's exactly 10 seconds left. So I can sort of, get up and see the rest of the round out with 10 seconds left. But obviously, as he's gotten up from that 3rd knockdown, and he's gotten up from whatever, and 10 seconds left, the referees just then looked at him and waved it off. I thought to myself, oh, harsh, because he could have seen out the round. He was okay enough, but obviously after like 3 knockdowns, the referee's probably thinking, obviously we spoke about this before off pod floors about how the favored fighter, the referee's happy to end it if possible. We'll touch upon that another day, I'm sure. But yeah, it was basically that. So very odd performance for Jaime because he didn't look great. I'll be so real with you, he didn't look great. But when he turned it on, he got this guy out of there. But so I'm there thinking, did he not take this guy seriously? Possibly. I think there's a high possibility of that, because he boxed a lot worse than what. Remember, we've been praising Jaime recently for his better defensive work and just his better work in there. So I feel like it was a situation where he didn't really take this guy seriously. He knew that he could take him out any time. But at the same time, obviously coupled with the fact that obviously he's fighting guys who we don't want to see him fight. I know for you, it's like, well, you can still be cooked for this. Afterwards, they asked him what next. Do you know who he called out?
Okay, or someone?
No.
He called out Boo.
No.
Charlo?
Called out Jamar Charlo. Okay. He said, put your balls, stop being, grow some balls, stop being a pussy, basically. Come fight me. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Never happening.
Ain't gonna happen. Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
Never, ever happening. Ever.
That happened.
So forget that one. Forget that one. You should be calling out. You should be calling out Golovkin or Boo Boo.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're calling out Charlo. Bro, does Jaime Munguia want it?
I don't know. I haven't watched the fight. So
yeah.
I'm trying. Like, even we questioned this fight, the last fight against people we hadn't heard of. Maybe something's going on with him, like health-wise or personal life.
This, by the way, this was his 40th fight, by the way. Oh no, is it 40 or 40th win? One of the two. But I think it's 40th fight.
Yeah, since the Gabe Rosado win, he hasn't stepped it up at this division. He's taken 2 backward steps almost in level of opposition. So it's a strange one. So maybe we weren't taking him serious. Maybe something's going on behind the scenes that we don't know of, and he just wants a few fights to maybe he's had an injury. I don't know.
And as we highlighted now, he's been at middleweight for a long time now. He's had a lot of fights at middleweight. So there's
good position for shots as well.
Yeah. Again, you question, is it him or is it Oscar? Because obviously we know what Oscar's on. But the difference between what happened with him and Canelo would refute what people would say. And like, he'll come out and say, oh no, like, I'm not scared of no one. Or, you know, when they'll say, they'll suggest, oh yeah, how come you're not fighting thingy? How come you're not fighting Golovkin yet? Canelo will openly allude to saying that, boy, that's not me. That's not on me. That's the people behind me making the decisions. Like, Canelo will openly say that. Jaime is just, he's not really refuting the claims that people are saying, if you know what I mean. Like, he's happy to go along with it, if you know what I mean. So
it fits the bill with that division, though. They all do the same thing. As we've said before in this pod, that division is very smelly. They're all just resting on their laurels. It's poor. So yeah, it's definitely right in line with the rest of that division. Pointing the finger, all waiting on Canelo.
Yeah.
He's left that division a long time ago.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's coming back at all anytime soon.
Deep in, Mar didn't fight for that belt, you know. When you talk about email champs,
Mar was an email champion. Yeah, 100%.
Mar didn't fight for the belt and hasn't fought anyone since. Like, people talk about Hayden,
might as well drop in the fact that Mar's fight with Sulecki has now been cancelled or postponed because he's got an injury, so he's not even fighting my man anymore. And you know what's going to happen when he comes back from injury? He might not fight Sulecki again, but he'll fight someone at that level. He's not going to fight anyone credible.
Oh boy! Like, I saw his comments about, he doesn't need to fight Kane Applied. It's going to be an easy win. He might as well fight Canelo.
Yep. Bloody hell!
Knock it off.
These lot are thirsty, aren't they? Thirsty. It's nasty.
Because we've been saying Miles the one, but he's moving.
Yeah. Sad to see. But yeah, Munguia got the W as expected against the guy he should be, knocking out. Boy, I'm happy to see Jimmy Kelly again. He impressed me a lot in that fight. So, I look out for him. Like I said, he's trained by. I didn't know. It's funny. Like I said, this is how random it was. He's a UK fighter with over 20-something fights, who me and you had never even heard of before, ever.
Never.
Doesn't have a wiki page or nothing. Like, we just literally like, who the hell is this guy?
I've never seen who he's fought with. I don't know who he's beat. I don't know who he's lost to. He lost
to Liam Smith a couple years ago, and I think that's the only opponent of credible note on his resume. Again, seems
like bad.
Liam Smith is decent, solid competitor. But yeah, Jaime's done well. Yeah, I'm not expecting, because of this current run of fights Jaime's on, I'm not expecting to be wowed by his next opponent, to be honest. Because clearly Golden Boy are just milking him, or he's milking himself. I don't know. I can't forget, like we said, this guy was mandatory for Boo Boo time ago, but has refused to take the fight. So it is what it is.
It's just too funny. All these man, their fights getting postponed, they're getting injured, they're not fighting each other.
Yeah, nah. The 160 Bozo of the week goes to the 160-pound division. That entire division is very smelly. Very, very smelly.
Sitting around like deep, yeah. When you deep who they fought in their recent fights, all the champions, it's the Seleckis. It's
the only credible one is Triple G, because he went and unified. When he unified with Morata, that's a very credible one, to be honest. And that's saying a lot.
Liam Williams.
Yeah.
Who did Charlie fight last?
Eubank Jr. What he's not doing? Yeah. Yo, the Montiel was a farce.
We might have to put a list of who these men have fought.
Yeah. We might have to tweet it. We might have to go on Flowz. Let's do that. Yeah, on the account. Just break down who they fought in that division and why they're not fighting each other. Crazy. But yeah, man, let's leave the 160 pounds aside. Let's move on to our preview for next week. Just one fight to preview, but it's a big one, actually. We're turning to 175 pounds, light heavyweight division. We've got unification between Artur Beterbiev, who's got 2 of the belts, and Joe Smith Jr., who's got 1 of the belts. Big unification. One that's obviously going to have a lot of repercussions in that division. Obviously, this division, I guess the lights are kind of on it, but not kind of on it, but kind of on it because obviously Canelo came and graced his presence. He graced that division with his presence for a little bit. But yeah, I'm happy we're getting this fight because these are the real 175 pounders. And this is what we really want to see. That division unified up and eventually us seeing an undisputed fight between the two Russians. Does Joe Smith Jr. have a chance? That's what I want to ask you.
He has a chance.
Yeah.
He does have a chance.
Yeah.
Beterbiev is getting old. People are saying they're starting to see chinks in his armor and whatnot based off the last fight with Brown, was it?
Yeah, Marcus Brown.
He's been dropped before.
Yeah.
So he does have a chance. Do I think he wins? No.
Yeah.
Do I think he gets stopped? Most likely.
Yeah.
But Beterbiev is getting 37 now?
He's 37, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Joe Smith Jr. in terms of his level is of that level.
I agree.
Unless Beterbiev is generally on the way down, then he might get him. But yeah. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I pretty much echo those. I think I'm expecting the Beterbiev stoppage win. I don't think Joe Smith Jr. is trash, but I just don't think he's not trash, but there's levels, as we like to say on this pod. And I've never considered him the level of a Beterbiev or a Bivol. I'll be so real. Even the Ukrainian who Beterbiev beat in that unification fight, Govodzik, I can't say his name, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Joseph. Like when it was the four of them all holding belts, I was openly saying that Joe Smith Jr. to me is the weakest out of everyone else compared to the other champions, comfortably, to be honest. Which is why I think Beterbiev does. Even if I'm not going to go ahead and say that it is a weakened Beterbiev or a Beterbiev that's on the way down, because I will say that with that Marcus Brown fight, I guess the cut also troubled him a lot. It was quite a nasty cut. Which Beterbiev showed obviously champion true grit to battle through. But yeah, the
way he turned it up as well.
Literally, as soon as similar to what Fury did against Wallin when the prospect of the fight getting stopped was there, they went crazy and Beterbiev just went nuts, literally turned into an animal. Brown was outboxing him in portions, but Marcus Brown's a good boxer. To be fair to him, he's a very good boxer. To be fair, so. I just don't think, I don't see Joseph at that level. So this would be a huge shock if Joseph Jr. was able to pull this off. But yeah, to me, this is a Beterbiev W. And I think Beterbiev is going to get to him at some point and knock him out. So I'm really looking forward ahead to the hopefully we get the Bivol undisputed fight. But yeah, it's boxing, anything can happen. I'm not expecting it to. I'm not expecting Joe Smith Jr. to pull off the upset.
Someone's going to be in the crowd over there. A few lions in the camp.
Mr. Anthony Yard, yep.
And Anthony Yard are apparently flying over there to watch the fight.
Yep.
Because they have
first dibs
lined up.
Yeah, they've got first. So to be honest, it will be next, won't it? They won't get the unification. It won't be the undisputed next. It will be fully Mr. Anthony Yard, won't it?
That's what Frank Warren and Barbarian were saying.
Yeah.
It's been agreed, the dates in place, the venues in place.
Fair play.
It's been agreed for a long time.
It's going to happen in London, isn't it? Yeah, it's happening in London, I think. Fair play. When that fight comes, we'll talk about that because I've got some thoughts towards that one, of course. But I guess it's good for Yard to get that scouting mission in to what Mr. Beterbiev is saying and start formulating some sort of game plan, him and Tunde. So, but yeah, it should be good. It should be a good fight, and fully expecting a knockout W for Mr. Beterbiev, who I've always said is the scariest one in that division. In fact, it's probably good that he's getting old because, listeners, Beterbiev is another monster. As we talked about pound for pound hardest punches, he's got to be in there in the floor. He's got to be in the top 5 easily.
Yeah.
Hasn't he won every fight by knockout? Or apart from one, maybe.
Yeah, I can't think of a fight. He hasn't.
Yeah, in fact, I think he's got. Yeah, let me check now. 17 wins, 17 KOs. He's won every fight by KO. And he's stopping quality guys, by the way. He's not stopping bumps. He's been stopping quality guys. So yeah, absolute animal. To have 100% knockout ratio and 2 belts says a lot, man. He's a problem. And yeah, I'm expecting that knockout streak to continue.
Likewise.
Calm. Well, we're in agreement there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that's it for this week, Flowz. Unless you got anything else you want to add.
I believe there was the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Floyd was inducted, wasn't he? Yeah, so I saw his speech. Who else was in it?
I'm not sure. I think Crawford was,
Excuse me?
Someone was telling me that. Can you check?
Sorry.
I didn't watch it.
Wait, sorry. Did you say Crawford?
Yeah. I don't know. Someone was bugging when they were telling me. But because I saw a clip of Mayweather's speech.
Yeah. He was crying. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Was Cotto inducted this year or last year? I think Cotto was inducted this year as well.
Oh my gosh, what am I seeing?
Why are you confused? You say Crawford shouldn't be there?
No, okay, yeah, he wasn't inducted. I think he just gave a speech.
He gave a speech. Okay.
Yeah.
What, you acted like you wanted to drag him off that.
Yeah, I mean, why should Crawford be on the Hall of Fame? Come on now. No, I mean, obviously he's a shoe. He's a shoe in the future when he retires. But why are you putting a guy in that's still fighting? Hall of Fame is meant to be a retiree thing. You get me?
So, yeah, true. Thanks.
Come on, man. Let's not be silly. Let's not jump the gun. But yeah, Crawford will be in. Even if he loses to Spence or the Spence fight doesn't happen, he's still going in there because he unified the whole division.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, apparently that fight is pretty much done. Well, rumors are saying that it's well. I'm not gonna because look, I'm not gonna get my hopes up. But yeah, rumors are saying that fight is more or less pretty much there.
I'm seeing random people's sources, and
they're saying that they're saying 60-40 in favor of Spence.
Yeah, I'll wait till it's announced.
Wait until Benson drops the scoop.
David Benson. See, PBC showed me the poster. PBC that I need to see it from. All the Mike Coppagers who post something and then they get the bugs. I think Mike Coppager is the only one who's said anything like as a boxing known journalist, and he's the last one I believe.
I don't think I believe that guy ever since I saw Bob send him to hell.
But I remember one time he posted, he's one of the worst. He posted something, and then Eddie Hearn said, "That's not true."
Yeah.
And he said, "Yes, it is." It was about Eddie Hearn's good fight. He said, "Yes, it is. My sources told me." And he was like, "What are you talking about, brother?" So he told me, "Yes, it is."
Ever since that guy got sent to hell, boy.
My coach is a bozo, man. And he stood there. To be fair, all of them are. Dan Raphael, you took spare crud as well. He's a bozo.
Nah, it was funny because that was the one that inadvertently crashed their mic for getting caught by Bob. Jimmy, Flowz, he said, in all my years working boxing, he said, in all my years working in boxing, I'd never seen someone get sent to hell like this by Bob. Listeners, you probably don't even know what we're talking about, but it's hilarious, I promise you.
You know how funny it is. How can the journalists be crashing it? I'm crying.
Oh, don't finish me. Yeah, no, we're done because I'm finished. I'll go watch it.
Too funny.
Boxing's hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
Promoters beefing, journalists beefing,
literally, that's it.
Beefing.
Bro, everyone beefing. It's hilarious. Fighters, coaches, journalists, promoters. Oh my gosh, it is. Yeah, it's so funny. I'm surprised refs don't beef and judges, refs and judges. I'm sure they do low key that we don't know of, but yeah. Oh, that is so funny. But yeah, that's been episode 94 with SZN Podcast. Once again, I've been your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And make sure you keep following us, like, subscribe, keep supporting. Peace.
I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.